All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to creating your VIP list with our very, very special guest, Mr. Jon Bye in the flesh, here in person.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for helping put this together.
Yeah, no, this
I'm
is
excited.
fun. Yeah, no, it's definitely been a big part of our business. I'm excited to share kind of some real simple steps, right? Like dumb it down. How can we move it forward? Like that's going to be the real goal today. And I'm actually going to make y'all do a little bit of work today too.
Yeah.
Sorry. So anything else, or you just want me to go or what?
Go for it. It's all yours.
All right. I don't see the Zoom people behind me because the people that show up in person are my favorite. Just not gonna lie. So thank you all for being here today and y'all in Zoom land or wherever I'm waving at. So about 10 years ago, I started trying to figure out how in the world can I get off the roller coaster in my business, right? Y'all feel the ups and downs, highs and the lows, and there's all these different things that are a lot of things that are out of our control in our industry, right? So, but the one thing that we do have control of is who do we want to build relationships with? I want you to think about that. I think the normal practice of us as agents is our friends, our family, new people that we just, run into at open houses or door knocking, all the regular real estate activities that I'm not saying we do not want to do that. Okay. Those are all very, very important, right? We all want to run a referral-based business. But as I got into coaching, the biggest thing for me was I wanted to find the stability. I wanted to be able to know that we could count on a certain amount of clients every year so that we could hire to that goal and we could continue to deliver a consistent experience with everybody. Like that was a really big piece of it. So when I first got in, one of the biggest things that we work on at the core is our VIP list. And our VIP list is going to consist of it's like your professional network. So when you think about the way the market is right now, especially, and any shift in market, whether that be a good, like in prices going up or prices going down, either way, the shift is where all the kind of nervousness comes from. So when we talk about who are we going to build these relationships with, we have to build relationships with people that can refer us all the time, no matter what the market's doing. Because if we're going to subject ourselves to the market, we're just going to be on the roller coaster like everybody else. And I don't know about everybody else in this room, but the majority of the clients that we're working with right now, the overwhelming majority, are not doing this because it's a lot of fun, right? Who wants to buy and sell real estate in this environment? It is super challenging. It's not that exciting. It's competitive again in weird ways. You might not get the price that you want. You're a buyer and people are saying now it's a buyer's market. Like, why was there 13 offers and it went way over list? Like, there's all this stuff that goes back and forth. So we need to work on getting the referral from the professional that refers us in any and all markets. So this is the have to buy or sell, not the want to buy or sell. And don't get me wrong, the want to buy or sell is super fun. In the last couple of years, like there was a lot of that, right? It was just, hey, this is a fun time to do this. I'm finally ready. Let's go and make it happen. And you just went out there and did it. But those people out there doing it just for fun are no longer here, right? Has anybody worked with anybody lately that was doing this just for fun? By show of hands. Okay, all right, that's what I'm saying. It will come again, so be ready, but it's going to be a little while. So let's make sure that we can plant seeds today, though, that are going to get us through the next cycle. It might not help you in this cycle, I am sorry, but there is no crystal balls, there is no magic pills. But because of the efforts and activities that I've done for 10 years now, that's why we're able to continue to do what we do today. So what I want to talk about is who are these people? So you're going to see this sheet. And this is where we're going to fill this out. Okay, I'm going to like stop talking and everybody on the camera. Hopefully you got I know you got this somewhere. Eric sent the email.
Yep.
So even if you don't have this printed off, you can just write it on the back of your daily printed calendar that you have printed off. We're just like, huh? What's that? Okay. Or on a pad of paper. Just heaven forbid, not a sticky note, please. Okay. Or a napkin. So we're gonna go through who are these people and where do we find them? Okay, so if you look at this list, there's a laundry list of all sorts of people. So number one is your team. Okay. We're all working for the common good, the common goal, right? So if your team is not your raving fan, shame on you, right? At the end of the day, like, we got to pour into them so that they'll pour into our clients and they'll pour into their friends and family, and they're ranting and raving about we're the best place to work at. Like, I can't believe that I'm here. I'm so lucky. Is that the type of experience that you're creating? Right? I want you to think about that. It's a big deal. And if it's not your team, if you don't have a team yet, like, are you treating it like you're a team of one? I think giving yourself honor and sticking to your schedule is huge, 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 very important. So write down, if you got a team, write down your team, okay? So it's either if you have support staff or a sales agent, okay? So write it down. And if it's just you, guess what? You gotta put your name down there twice.
And what does the RPI stand for?
RP1, just it's an administrative role.
Are those also fire agents?
That'd be a sales agent. So under the SA, if you had any agents, you put them over there. Agent members. If you have nobody, you write your name there twice. There and there, because that's all you all day. You get a double up, you get two job roles.
It's gonna have my husband.
Oh, you put your husband on there too? Yeah, get him to work.
I was thinking.
Yeah. So I'm gonna rattle off all the next ones, these people, and then I'm gonna tell you where to go get them. So everybody's gotta have a good lender partner. Here's the deal, though. If you're not getting more than 20 leads a month, you can't have more than 2 people. Okay, you can't have 5 lender partners and 5 leads a month, and you give them like, you can't do that. You're gonna ask your lender for a reciprocal relationship. You can't have 10 lender partners asking them for leads and deals, and you're not giving nobody squat. Like, that doesn't work. Okay, it has to be back and forth. So if you're gonna ask for them, you have to be able to give them. So if you're newer, you can have 1. If you're a little seasoned, you can have 2. But if you want to have multiple lenders, you got to be generating a lot of leads to be able to give them out. I think for us to have that cohesive relationship, we don't want to spread ourselves too thin. And we also do not want our best friends fighting against each other. So you're like, I got the 3 best lenders in the whole world. Here they all are, all 3 of them. Then it's like the 3 of you ladies, like all trying, I got this great listing appointment. I got this great lead, and I'm going to give it to all 3 of you. Who's going to win? You guys are all super charming. So somebody's going to win them over, hopefully at full price. But if it was but in the lender world, it's all about rate. Who's going to give them the best discount, right? That's what they're going to be shopping for. We sell on service, right? We should all not be discounting right now, right? Okay, yes, okay. So we don't want to have somebody else that we force them in a position to doing that. It's just not fair. So you got to have a lender partner. Your financial advisor. Raise your hand here if you all have a financial advisor, like somebody that helps you with your money. Yeah, that should be 100% of people, even if it's not all your money. Okay. It's okay to use E-Trade and all that stuff too. But remember, we're in a relationship building business. You got to tap into networks. So it's okay. All the freaking attorneys that you can think of. Now, I always do this with a caveat. It says probate and divorce. So that's estate planning. So whoever needs a will, got to build relationships there. Who here has a will? Okay, all right. There's opportunities here for other people to then call and meet new people. So have a will, people, very important. You see what the government does with our money. You want them to deal with yours? Because that's what'll happen. Okay, divorce attorneys. It's a thing of life. If you build relationships with divorce attorneys, though, you will be working with people that are getting divorced. So just be cautious. Okay. There are some attorneys that really focus on more of a mediation type approach, not like more collaborative than confrontational. So if you're going to go that direction, I would ask them what their clients look like. Because I've been thrown in the middle of some some crazy stuff before. And I'm like, I don't know if I really want to like, they always say you are who you hang out with. And I'm like, I want to be married like forever. Like, why would I be like, planting myself into this situation where people are biting about all these negative things? It's just not fun. But it's the professional, right? The professional referral works the professional hours, refers you professionally. Not like our past client that we talk to every night at 9:30. And they're like, my realtor's the best. He answers his phone at 9:30, even on a Sunday night. Dang it, like that's not what I'm trying to get them to do, right? So your professionals are not going to be talking to their clients after business hours 90% of the time, 95% of the time, right? Okay. Everybody's got to have a CPA. If you're all doing your TurboTax over here, time to get a professional. Okay. Your home inspectors. But John, home inspector only works, they got like 1,000 realtors. Do better. Give them more leads. Ask for the business. Right? By show of hands, who in here has asked their home inspector for a referral? Okay, that's what I'm talking about, right? Like, it's okay to ask, and guess what? They might say no. I don't know anybody. But guess what? Everybody else in here, nobody else is asking. Because they're just assuming that, you know, I'm like not good enough, or they got too many options. No, silly. Build a great relationship, move the needle from that for them outside of their work environment, treat them like everybody else we work with.
Hey, John, can you give an
Yeah.
example on how you would ask a home inspector?
Yeah.
Or
Eric, man, I've been working with you for 20 years. Like, you actually inspected my very first house that I bought before I even got in the industry. Like, man, I really value our relationship. I know the majority of our team sends you all the deals, and I know you got a lot of options. However, next time you run across somebody that's looking to buy or sell, just this one time, would you mind sending them my way? Right? Whatever works for you. Like, I just totally made that up. And it's okay. But you just got to ask, whatever works for you. Right? If you got to get down on one knee, like, baby, please. Like, that's all I need today. Just one, right? Just say yes. It doesn't matter, right? Just do you. Have fun. Okay. Your insurance person. Everybody's got car insurance. Everybody should have business insurance. Okay. Change the conversation. The crazy part is right now. So as we're talking about these people, as I'm saying them out loud, like, this is the homework I'm going to give you, and the book work and table work that we're going to do like right after this. As you go, write down the names of the people that you know. Okay. Jeff's over here killing. He's already got like half his thing full already. Business bankers. Okay, right now, by a show of hands, who has their money, their business money, at a local bank? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that is a very small. So when I say local, that's like not a Chase, a B of A, a BCU, right?
BECU is not local?
No. No longer local. No longer local. So, and the reason why I say that, and why I mean no longer local, is that I want somebody that knows my name. I want to be like, cheers, like I'm gonna go in there and be like, hey, what's up, John? It's great to see you. You don't need to sign your checks. Just give them to me. I know what we're doing. Like, that's the type of relationship that you want. That's the type of person that can get you referrals. That's the type of person that you can make an impact on. Not when you go into BCU. And if you go to the Tukwila one, it's like a cattle line or something. You're just like man, wait. Like, how do you build? Like, maybe you'll be able to meet some people in the line because there's like 100 of them. But ultimately, you want to make sure that you can build a relationship with your banker. They are trusting people with their money. Okay. We want people in our camp that are helping other people make big financial decisions. And if it's just a round robin at a kiosk at a big bank, just doesn't work. I used to bank at BCU, and I was like, and it's not a bad bank. The challenge is it's just too big now. It's just too big.
What's a local bank?
So like Timberline, WaFd, First Financial, Home Street, like Umpqua.
So
What, this sounds silly, but what do you go to the bank for? I mean, I know money, but.
Yeah. Your business, so as a business owner, you gotta, well, yeah, to go deposit, to build relationships.
So you just take your checks and deposit?
Hell yeah.
Oh, and no direct.
Yeah, or if you need to get some cash, you're going on vacation, like, go, you're like, yeah.
I've not.
I send them marketing, I send them flyers and this
Mhm.
stuff.
We have all sorts of stuff, like we build a relationship, like they trust us, we have our literature there.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you got it, you have to put, you should have a separate business account and a separate personal account. So if you need to keep your personal account wherever it's at now, that's fine. But you have to get a business account, so use these things to your advantage. Like, I'm trying to get you to do things that are not like out of this world crazy ideas. Like, it's just doing better with the situation that you're in right now. So it's like having a better conversation, a better tactic, a better approach with things that you're already doing day to day. Not trying to make it hard, right? We've done all this hard stuff already. So contractors, there's like a bunch of them, tons. So you can write down all the best ones. Some of them might do multiple things, right? Because when we're calling them, we're talking to our clients. If it's outside of the real estate world, there are two questions. Are either, I need a good lender. If it wasn't somebody that you already worked with before, I need to refi, or I need to fix up my house, or I need to sell my house, right? Or buy my house. That's it. So you got to have a lot of really, really good contractors, a lot of them. I'm going to pause for a second. I'm going to make you all think about it. 30 seconds. Write down as many as you can. Library in here. I like it. Okay, about another 30 seconds. Find more people. In the right place. Come on, 4, ridiculous. All right, bring it on back. So you got the idea. So the reason I did that exercise is, number one, we all have people that we already know. Okay. But have we taken that conversation to the next level? So what you wrote down was all the people that were like top layer, top of mind. Now, what I want you to think about later as you continue this exercise is go through your database and challenge yourself and go through one by one. Do any of these people that I already know fit any of these categories? I would rather you not have to go meet strangers. We can all do it, but if I ask you to do that, at least all of this, you're gonna rip up the paper. And you're not gonna do it. Okay? So I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. Like they're right there in front of us, but we're just not looking through the right lens. And guess what? If you have empty holes, the next step. Okay. First step, you just fill them all out. Second step, you have anybody in your database that can fill them. What do you think the third step is, Josh Hall?
Go find people,
Sort of, yes. How?
ask your database.
Bam. Right? I'm looking for great people in this area, this area, this area. And you're gonna call until you get them filled, right? Everybody wants to help you, but you need to ask. And guess what? This time you don't have to call and ask for a lead, get down on one knee. You don't have to do that. Like the referral to the relationship is most likely more valuable than a referral to a client. It's like teaching somebody, it's like giving somebody a fish versus teaching them how to fish. Like that's the difference. Relationship will go forever. One client might just be it. It might be done. Like that's amazing. And we want those as well. But I really want to build more relationships because that is what we're in the business of. Okay. And then the fourth way, if you can't do any of these other things that we've done, the very, very last thing, not the start, is you can go to the internet if you absolutely have to. Okay. And now when you do this though, like you're going to look at reviews, you're going to look at geographic location. Okay. We get to build our business where we want to. So don't go chasing clients or relationships in Olympia and Everett. Right? Don't do it. I know sometimes like, well, I got the greatest person or way down there. Like you can have some phone calls if it makes sense or whatnot, but I don't want you driving back and forth because the thing is that people, where people are at, they usually refer in the same area. So you got to be very, very strategic about that. You're trying to infiltrate a new area, go build relationships with the people that live there. Want to increase your price point? Right? Go to the areas that those professionals work, build the relationships there. You just got to think about it a little bit more. I think we're really, all of us here, really, really good thinking on our toes. And that gets us to an okay spot. Taking it to the next level, you got to have a little bit of strategy around it. It's just the only way it's going to work.
I
Yeah.
love that idea. Like, I think most people, if they're thinking like, oh, I need a contractor, so they might call or ask someone else in the office. You know, you're like totally missing out, getting to connect with your database and getting those connections from your sphere. You know, that probably has good ones out there that, maybe you hadn't even talked to in a while.
Absolutely. We have to figure out how to get people to the right person in every single situation. We don't ever want to put them back to the internet because anytime somebody raises their hand and they need our help for an introduction, that is a referral that we get to give to another professional that we're working to build a relationship with. And the more that we do that, they will be indebted to helping us. Giving the referral is almost as good as getting the referral. And track the referrals that you give out, right? When you create this list, your goal should be is as you're calling out to your database and you're talking to your other VIPs on this list, do you need any help in these areas? Those are the questions that you want to prod. Like all I want to do is when you're talking to people is make sure that they feel loved, they're special, you hear them, but you got to fill a need. Like we have to be valuable for our people. If you're not bringing value by making introductions, we're just here. Okay. So now you got your list. It's full, right? Got all sorts of stuff. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I got my list. Now what do I do? Okay. So you're gonna do a couple things. One is you're gonna call everybody once a month. This is not rocket science, okay? But this is what you have to do is you have to be consistent. Everything that we do, our clients are paying attention. So when you call on the first Monday of every single month, this professional to check in, see how you can help them out, see if there's anybody that they've ran across that you can help out. And you do it like clockwork every single month. Bam, bam, like, bam, like you know it's coming. That's the consistency that professionals want to see so that they can refer you and know that you're going to do a good job. Because obviously you have a process. Obviously you have a system. And it's in your actions, not just in what you tell them that you do. It's like, no, this is actually what I do. But Eric, what if they don't answer my call? Or what if they don't want to talk to me? Just leave a great voice message. People are super, super busy too. Like you're calling professionals during work hours, especially attorneys, like they're billing per hour. They ain't got no time for us. Okay. And that's okay. But I'm going to leave a killer message. I'm going to let them know that I'd reached out to them and that I'm here to help. They'll get the message. They'll see that we called. And all we're trying to do is just stay on the radar. There's every one of the people that we know knows 5 or 10 realtors like really well. Like that's just a fact. So, and it usually boils down to who's the last person that they spoke with, who's the last person that they worked with. And a lot of the times, you might be the last one that they worked with, but if you hadn't talked to them in a while, me or Josh are gonna come take your deal. Right? Because we're gonna call them. We got a plan. Because the one who plans and stays up, that's who wins. And it's not hard, but you have to show up and you've got to make the calls. They got to be intentional. So it's okay if they don't pick up the phone. It's all good. Like, don't trip. It's okay. Say this is somebody brand new. Some of these people are you're going to know, but I'm going to challenge you that you're going to have this list, the influential question list. Okay. And I think is on the majority of everybody's table. One of the biggest questions that I get asked is, all right, I got the meeting. Woohoo! Because the goal is to meet with all these people face to face, right? Okay. So you're going to call them, you're going to meet with them once a quarter. You want to meet with them one-on-one as well, especially at the beginning, even if they're people that you already know. Like, hey, Eric, I know that we've been working together for like 5 years, but I cannot believe I have not sat down and just kind of know more about where your business started. You crush it, but I just want to know more about what you do, what your perfect client looks like, how you got here. Love to have coffee with you for like 30 minutes. Is that cool? Okay. I'll even bring it to your site if you want. You don't even have to leave. Bring it to your office. You don't even have to leave. Like, gotta lower the bar for these appointments, like lower them down. These are no long lunches. Okay. These are coffee appointments. Where do you like your coffee? I'm bringing it to your office. That's how we do this. And then you're just going to ask them all these questions. Like you're going to print off this piece of paper and you're going to show up like a professional and you're going to read the questions and you're going to write down the answers. How many times do we go on an appointment and we are not prepared with any questions? That's great. I would love to say though, that's everybody. I've had so many meetings where people have wanted to get in my ear and they sit right across from me with nothing in their hand. Oh, tell me what you know. Tell me about your life. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So even like you have to, I know this is so basic, but the challenge is that some of us still drop the ball on this. You've got to have some pre-written questions, either these or specifically tailored ones. If you come in with specifically tailored questions that you took a couple minutes, you want to know exactly these things, especially if you do some homework about their business first, maybe some of the struggles that they have. How did you get through this? Yada, yada. It elevates, it takes it to a whole nother level. Whole nother level. Pre-written questions. Number 1 is A+. A B minus is like a notepad and a piece of paper. Okay. Below that is you're taking notes on your phone. Shame on you. Do not ever do that. Ever, ever, ever. That phone better be on do not disturb and that better not come out of your pocket. Period. Okay. I know all y'all some green and all that stuff. No tablets either, because you're all hooked up on that stuff. Okay. No tablets. Just gonna have to figure out how to increase your penmanship skills. And then the last thing is you're just gonna get kicked out of the room. It's better just cancel the appointment if you don't bring anything with you. You might as well not even show up. So take 5 minutes before the meeting. You can also keep your meeting sharp, concise, quick. And you can move on and then set the expectation moving forward. I'd love to keep in touch with you. You run a great business. And I know for me, the biggest thing is staying top of mind. So I want to make sure you and I don't lose connection. Because I feel like a lot of meetings that I go on is awesome. Like, this is a great meeting. Then after that, I might not talk to you for like a year. And I'm not going to do that because I know you take meetings from other professionals and that's what happens. So I can promise you, I'm not going to drop the ball. So I'm going to check in with you once a month. We do great events all throughout the year. We do a monthly happy hour with just our business owners. I'd love to invite you to that. I'm going to put you on the list. If you can make it out, it'd definitely be worth your time. So I'll remind you of that when we reach out. Is it okay if I follow up once a month? No, not okay, Josh. Terrible. I don't ever want to talk to you again. You're a terrible human being. I can't even believe I'm sitting here, right?
Yeah, I feel it.
It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen, right? They already let you into their space. And as long as you were professional and you showed up and you had questions, you're already leaps and bounds ahead of where everybody else was already. You got a question?
What are you saying to get a meeting with an attorney?
Mhm.
Like the contractors, you can say,
Yeah.
I'm trying, I want to refer clients to you, but hopefully my clients aren't going to go to all the attorneys, so.
Yeah, I'm looking to build, so I'm calling, the receptionist answers the phone. And her name's Shy, let's just say her name's Shy. So I'm like, hey Shy, my name's Jon Bye with John L. Scott Real Estate. I was looking at your reviews online and I'm looking for great professionals to network with in the area. And it looks like Kevin is one of the top attorneys in the area. And I know he's probably super, super busy. Like, I totally get it, how everything operates, but I'm just around the corner and I'd love to get like 10 minutes with him, really anytime. I'm super flexible, like during the week, you can slide me in. I just want to introduce myself and see if there's a way that we can help build our business together.
Mhm.
And Shy's gonna be like, nope. Click.
John, do you do any,
But
pop bys to try and meet?
so you get there. So it's gonna take some time. But again, that's why I'm trying to go to I don't like, now on the flip side, let's say that Shy is a second tier connection, right? From a past client or Shy's bosses, right? Or the attorney. She was the receptionist. That's what I was trying to get through. So it's a much warmer introduction.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Shy, I was referred to you by Mary Smith. She says that I got to talk to Kevin. Is it cool? Like, I'm a local business owner. I was referred from a previous client of his. I'd love the opportunity just to connect with him for 5 or 10 minutes. Is there a way you can fit me in his calendar? And then you're going to sneak your way in there. And then you're going to ask him those questions. Then you're going to get permission to follow up. And you're actually going to follow up. Does that make sense? But if you can start though with the connection with the referral, like, it's way harder, so much harder when you're just smiling and dialing. Like, it's just, and nobody really likes to do that. I don't like to do that. I'm looking for the introduction. But for me, if I'm going deeper with my clients and my friends and my family, finding all these people, yeah, so many. Like, what do you think the percentage is of the people in your database that have a will? Let's just say it's 50%. Okay. Let's say it's even 25%. And let's say you got 400 people on your database. That's 100 attorney referrals that you could get. Let's say you have 100 attorneys in your database and they all give you 1 lead a year. And you convert probably 50% of those. It's pretty high, you know, right? Like, the pretty, you know, pretty reasonable. Like, that's a pretty high level referral you're going to get.
50 deals.
It's 50 deals. That'd be cool. I'd like that. But that's a strategic way. That's an ask to your database. It starts with talking to your database, asking the right questions, getting the introduction. Is it okay if I name drop you? Are you okay making an email introduction if you all are really tight? Then you get in and then you start working the plan. The thing though is, this is not the instant, like, you know, we're not drinking out of that keg in the back. You're like, it ain't coming out like that, right? It's kind of like the Keurig with like a little tiny, there's not a lot of water left in there and it's like, you know, going all wacko. So it takes a while for the faucet to really turn on. It's the building blocks of the call every month, the face-to-faces, the initial meeting, the referring them. A lot of the people on this list, you might not ever send a referral to. And that's okay. As long as you are crushing it for the referrals that they give you, you're elevating the referral partner through the process, and you're trying to get them leads from the clients that they give you. Okay, you got that? Shy?
So a couple things, when you are, like, I'm referring Bob to the attorney.
Yep.
When you make your monthly attorney call,
Mhm.
are you like, oh, hey, were you able to connect with Bob? Like, are you making sure those connections are surface level, everyone knows they happen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, totally. You want them to know where Bob came from.
Yeah. I
Oh,
figured.
yeah.
And then do you ever drop off like tangible materials to like the attorney?
Absolutely. You know, when you come to a first meeting, you know, bring some brochures and things like that. Hey, do you feel like our meeting went well? Like, I know, you know, you might want to test me out first, right? And that's okay. But I'd love to leave you with some materials, and then down the road, maybe in a couple months after we get an opportunity to work together. After, if you give me permission, I'd love to get you some more stuff, right?
Okay.
Here's the deal though. A lot of these people now are not meeting their clients in person anymore. It's terrible. It's ridiculous. I think it's the worst thing freaking ever, but what can I do about it? So the challenge is that it's the call is the key. The dropping off, I'm just gonna be real. It's procrastinative, or what did my wife call it? Productive procrastination. Okay, you're like, I'm getting ready. I'm gonna go do all these pop-bys. And I got one in Kent, one in Renton, one in Bellevue, one in Kirkland, one in North Seattle, one in Bothell, one in Mill Creek, and one in Olympia. And I'm gonna get them all done today. And you knock on the door, you got your basket. You're like, crap, nobody's here. Then you go to the next one. Is John Stein in today? Nope, he's on vacation. Oh, thanks. See where this is going? And now you're driving around thinking that you're doing busy, good work, when you could have just called all the people, right? And try to set up a scheduled appointment so you wouldn't have to do any of that. It's not that it's bad, it's just not, there's better way to use our time. Our time is super valuable. I don't want us just to run around all the time just to make us feel like we're busy. Like, do the work you're supposed to do and go home. Go hang out with your family, go play golf, do something that makes you, that recharges you. You don't have to just sit here.
What did it just do?
Freak out, scare them all.
No, it
They all
said
went
it
away.
was signed out or something.
Okay. So you're gonna have the meeting. Then after that, you're gonna do the monthly happy hour. It's just really easy. Okay, it's the easiest way to start, just to start doing this. Because the challenge is that afterwards, you want to try to get face to face with everybody, but you can't have meetings after meetings after meetings after meetings after meetings. Like, just doesn't work. We still have to sell houses. That is what we do here. Okay, so meetings are great, but it's not what we should be in all the time. So if you have a scheduled event, somebody says, hey, I'd love to go and hang out. I would love to see you. You should come to our happy hour I do every month. Like, it's a great networking opportunity. We can get some one-on-one time. It'd be awesome to see you. And you tell that to everybody. And the first time, Tony, you're gonna do it. You're gonna get there early, you're gonna be prepped, and you're gonna be super scared nobody's gonna show up. Like, super scared. You're gonna get like sweaty hands. It's gonna be really awkward. Like, the first person that comes, I'm gonna shake them. It's gonna like slimy. It's okay. Here's the deal. If nobody shows up, it's all good. Because remember, the power of the invitation. You called and talked to all them, invited them to something, whether they show up or not, doesn't matter. There's usually some people that show up though, so you'd be okay. Eric.
John, do you do this at the same place every month? You try
Yes.
to keep it at the same location.
Yes, so the goal is to have it at the same restaurant or the same bar, whatever it is, whatever your style is, or it could even be a coffee thing. It doesn't even have to be like a drinking thing. It could just be like, we do morning coffees on Wednesday at 10, or it doesn't matter. It's just all about, there's an opportunity that you have that you can tell people where you're gonna be at, and you can invite them to go to meet other professionals.
And you keep it consistent, correct, for like the time of the month? or,
Yeah, you
like,
try to do them the same time all the time. So like the third Thursday or the first Thursday or the first, whatever. Yeah.
John, you mentioned, that you do, have a monthly happy hour for B, right?
Mhm.
But then do you do something for all of your past clients and?
We just do our regular client events.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, not anything monthly. It just gets too crazy.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And how often do you have those?
Our client events, like 3 times a year. Yeah, yeah,
And for the happy hour, for a long time, we told you about the 2-hour cocktail party.
yeah, yep.
You do your happy hours Monday through Wednesday.
So no, but the 2-hour cocktail party is definitely a much different approach. If you haven't read the book, it's
What
killer. It's called The 2-Hour Cocktail Party by Nick Gray. And it is the best way to throw parties at your house where you can have them a lot of fun and you can also get the people out of your house. Okay, very important, out of your house. Like, the best way to build relationships is to get people in your house. But the challenge is then people get comfortable and you get comfortable. And then your 2-hour event turns into a 6-hour wine fest. Like, I mean, like bottles of wine, not like crying, right? So it's still fun, but like, I'm trying to go to work tomorrow. I still got stuff to do. Okay. But it's a great book. It's very strategic on how you operate things. We've done them before. It's really good. But the other one is just a networking party. It's just an hour and a half. You buy 2 drinks, you get little 2 drink tickets. You stay for an hour and a half or 2 hours and then you leave. They want to stay, that's fine. You don't stay. Very important. I would also, I know we all like some adult beverages every now and again, but I found when I do not partake, they're way better. Because then I don't get excited and want to stay late because that's kind of how I roll. Okay. So we're gonna fill all this out. And then we're gonna ask all the questions. Okay. Then we're gonna do the monthly event. And at least once a year, I would say it needs to be a lot more than this, but at least once a year, you want to get that face-to-face again. And bring your questionnaire that you wrote the last time and circle back some of the things that you spoke about before. Weave them back in. So I think things go really, really well for us. And then we think they're on autopilot and we drop the ball. I know there's other professionals in our world that have done it to us all the time. Work really, really hard on building a great relationship. And then they're like, "Ooh, autopilot. Yeah. Like, where'd you go? Oh, I got a call from somebody else. Somebody who wants to pay attention to me. Somebody's calling me a little more, hanging out with me a little more. You know, you might try to, walk the other line, right? Oh, maybe this guy's looking over here. John Stein looking pretty good. Tony, not so much anymore. Like me and John, like I'm in, right? So, but it happens all the time. So you got to go back and you just have to work hard to earn the relationship. You have to earn it. Feel like you don't earn it, then do something about it. Get back in the fold. Now, you might call somebody all the time and they just don't call you back. And that's okay. If it's been a year and you haven't got a call back, then maybe it's not the right person. Or what you should do is just, leave a voicemail that says, "Eric, like, man, I've left you a message like every month for the last year. Are you okay? Are we good? Like, I just want to make sure things are going well. Like, if for some reason I'm just bugging you now, like, I don't want to be that person. So just let me know. Like, just give me a quick call. Like, let's catch up. If you're doing something else, that's totally fine." I think when people like see us and then they just like, I just don't want to have the conversation now, or I'm too busy. But then after a while, just guilt trip them into calling you. Because if I want to know, I don't want to bug people either. But I'm going to keep bugging you until you tell me to stop bugging you. Because that's what I do. And obviously I want to build a relationship with that person as well. But if it's not going both ways, then you might just need to cut ties and work on calling your database again, seeing if you can find another good connection. But you should always be asking these questions on the professionals, right? Like, Shai, who's the last person that you worked with that was just like over the top experience? Right? Challenge them to questions like that, like in a professional setting. Or even like if it was in a consumer setting, like at a restaurant or whatever, hey, like, and you remember the waiter or waitress's name? Like, man, I might go there and be like, hey, Shai told me that like you're the best. Go build a relationship with that person, right? Like, make an effort to take things to the next level.
How often are you upgrading your VIP list?
Not,
Upgrading, correct me wrong,
I would
kind
say,
of taking a look at it.
yeah. You're constantly evaluating. So I have a top 50 and then I got a bench of 50. So people are always moving in and out. If somebody comes in and they're like making a big impact in our business right away, like I'm putting them up to the top. Like we're we're gonna be talking a lot, So, but you have to have it all written down and you have to have it in a format that's digestible that you can look at it. So Eric there's an email. Can we bring that up on the screen?
Yep. Which one?
And this is like super basic. I think it was the top one. Yeah. That one. Yeah, that one. And he'll send this out to everybody. Now, I know everybody's got their fancy CRM and all the stuff that they do or whatever. I'm a big pen and paper person, at least getting it started. So. Need air.
Sure. And then it's that one.
Hi, you guys much better.
Dude, when I go to get it, it's scary now. When I go get my hair cut. You need to go like every other day, so then it's so small that you can't see any of it. I think that would be a better trick. Got a picture of my house up here, that's weird.
Going there. There we go.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is very, very basic, okay? So each one of these is gonna be for one person. Okay, so you put their name here. You can rank them A, B, C if you need to. Like right now, we're just trying to get to 50. So right now, everybody's an A until they're not. Okay. Their information. So what do they do? Where are they at? And what's their number? Like their telephone number. Then you're gonna write down a little bit of information, like when's their birthday, their wedding anniversary, what do they like to do for fun? And the great thing I love about this is how many have you given away and how many have you got on referrals? Okay, so if all you did was you had this list of 50 people and your only goal every single day was to get leads for people on this list, how would that change your business? Like that was it. You're not calling for yourself anymore. Like I'm calling for them. Way easier to make telephone calls, ask for help when it's on behalf of somebody else. Like, I still feel like that I'm not worthy. I haven't poured enough into you, like, which is all garbage, but we all have that talk, right? So whatever we have to do to put ourselves in that mood, that environment where it's easier to ask, it's huge. Because I would love to just call my database, get a referral of somebody else, then I get to call them and hey, I got a referral, then I can call the other like it creates all this synergy and all this contact and connection out of just a very precise and tactical approach. And then here, you're just gonna check off, like if you talk to them, you put TT, LM, left message, FF, face to face, or BB, break bread. So what activity did you do with them that month? Pretty simple, right? And then you're just gonna do that forever. Forever. Okay,
That's all.
that's all. That's all. But the thing for us is that I remember when first started in the business and I was like, I'm just gonna show up. I'm like, if I could feel like if I just show up, I'm already gonna be one step ahead. But when you have things like this, like one, you can show up, But two, you have a very easy executable plan. And that's just what we do on Mondays. Yeah, questions? Chuck?
Now you get a referral, it worked.
Yeah,
Now what? How do you reward?
So-
Bob the attorney, do you send a thank you? Like, what is that?
you gotta do something, right? So one, you gotta acknowledge a referral. Minimum metric is a call, right? You have to at least call. Period, right? Thank you. I super appreciate you. Second thing is you gotta at least send a note with a thank you too. Like, I really appreciate it. I'm gonna take great care of them. You can gift, like gifting for referrals is appropriate. I would say though, for some people, very unnecessary. I don't want any more stuff. I just want you to crush it for my referral. Like, I want to make sure that that person doesn't call me in 6 months saying Eric Schultz sucked. Like, I can't have that happen. Like, I want them to be like, Eric Schultz is the bee's knees. Like, this dude killed it. Like, he is my best friend now. We run together. He's got me doing these crazy races. We're living life together. Like, that's the response I want. I don't want, you know, a $50 Starbucks card. No. But what I want even more as a referral partner is I want to know that the client's getting taken care of. And also, if you can get a current client referral from that relationship that you can give back to the referral partner, they will never, ever, ever, ever call anybody else. I would rather get another opportunity for a client than a trip. You know, it doesn't move the needle, especially for most professionals. If it's you know, a friend, a past client, like those types of things might move the needle a lot more for them. But in a professional setting, give me some more clients, give me some more opportunities. Show me that you're trying as well. Like, if you really want, like, you can't do this forever, but like when we do our status update calls on Tuesdays, like if you just had like, hey, these are all the people that I'm working on in my pipeline, and then who referred me to them. And if they're anybody in your VIP, give them an update on where your client's at.
Looks like we got a chat, says we also send happy client reviews to the referring business partner, thanking them again.
Yeah. And if you get a review, and I think that's what is being said there, but like we got a killer review from a client from one of our state attorneys. And I'm like, dude, here's what your client said about working with us. Like, and he's like, I'm not surprised. And I'm like, sweet, cool, let's do some more of this. Okay. But those types of things, they want the reinforcement because all of us, we know how powerful the referral is, but also how vulnerable of a position it is to give one. Because there's always a risk. And I'll just throw it out there, like, you know, I referred a property management person to this company, and then he totally stunk up the whole joint, right? And I'm like, how do I repay that? Like, I feel terrible, you know, but I was trying to be, you know, trying to elevate somebody in their career, and sometimes it's going to be risky, and sometimes it's going to suck, right? But don't stop doing it because of one thing that went wrong. Like, it just doesn't happen that often. And for all of you that happened to, I apologize for that. But at the end of the day, like, just got to try to do the right thing, you know, and sometimes it's not going to work out. But if the best intentions are initially behind it, it's all good. We can all figure it out. It might not be pretty at some point in times, but we'll all figure it out. A lot of these relationships that I have are relationships that sometimes have been challenging. You know, sometimes maybe we drop the ball with one of their referrals that they gave to us, right? Or maybe they dropped the ball on one that we gave them. But that doesn't mean you should 86 them. Like, these are ways to get better.
Hey, John, can you talk about the concept about the give, ask? Is that the rule you
Yeah.
follow?
Yeah, so a lot of that in here too, right? So, you know, as you're calling these people and you're working to build the relationships, and all of these deals that you've given them or referral opportunities that you've given them, or there's nothing there. It's a lot harder to ask for the business when you haven't given them anything. So when you're calling them, Like, I want to help you out. Who do you need right now? What can I do for you right now? Like, until you start filling in some of these in, it's just gonna be tough. So that's why I said, like, make that your mantra. So give, ask, right? So give, ask. So think about like boxing, like you can't, like, that's just the way you set it up. Just what a lot easier. Then you know what your process is. And you can even tell them in your meeting, like, Shai, here's my deal. I get people that come to me all the time. They're like, hey, I'd love to work with you. I'm like, that's great, but we have like 3 other people that do the same thing as you. Like, just give us the shot, give us a shot. I'm like, that's cool. Like, we'll give you a shot on your client, but not on our client. But if you give me a couple, right, then we're gonna be indebted to give something back to you. So Shai, this is my goal for our relationship. I'm not gonna ask you for any business or any help until I get you a couple swings first. Is that fair?
Yeah.
That's my number 1 job. Because I want to be super valuable to you, and I know we're gonna do a great job when we deserve that opportunity. But I know personally that I am not gonna deserve that until I show you how committed I am to your business. So that's not only my goal, but it's my entire team's goal. So in our meeting tomorrow, like, we made this meeting, I'm gonna talk to everybody on my team. Who do we know now? Who can we make an introduction to? Who do we need to call to get somebody? And I promise you, I'm gonna get you some people before I even ask.
So you're saying that about everybody on this list, you're giving a referral for your ask.
I think if you have to, if it's a brand new relationship, that might be your way that you're most
Sure.
comfortable with. Some of us might, right, people come hot out of the gate too, right? And they're like, man, I need this, you're great. But don't forget, because they might start giving you, which is amazing. But you got to make sure you're giving them something too. And it might not even be business, but it's the updates, it's the communication, it's the praise and the reinforcing that you're giving to their client, that they're in the right place. Who do you know that we can get back to Kevin? Who do you know that we can get back to Shai? Because they don't want to ask for their own referrals either. They don't want to. So if we're making it rain for them, and if they're giving us the opportunities, like we owe that to them to try to get them some business back. So ask on their behalf. And then show up with some opportunities for them.
Love that.
We got 3 more minutes. Hardeep, what you got?
I don't have any questions.
No.
How many you got on your list now?
I'll tell you, one thing I struggle with, right, is, yes, like you said, you saw my papers pretty blank.
Mhm.
Is I felt that sometimes I've kind of covered it as, I can go through my phone and I find I can fill out every single line. But I feel like sometimes I refer to the person and they let me down.
Mhm.
Multiple times with multiple different people, right? Contractors, even attorneys. So I've had a hard time just finding that. Not for every single one of them, but for a lot of them, just finding someone like, yeah, all right, I like this person. I will refer them. So that's been my struggle.
So with some of those people, would you say that you would like to still do business with them? You like them?
Yes and no.
Okay, so the ones that are like the absolute yes, if you go, if you even second guess yourself and it's not a yes right away, they are no. Okay, they're a no, just take them off the list. But the ones that are like, man, I really like that person. I'm frustrated that this happened.
Sure.
A lot of that, we got to put that mirror right up to our face. So if we discuss any type of proper expectations, because everybody in this room, we got some super high expectations, and that is not how this world operates, right? Like, we're just all on a whole nother level of communication and what we expect people to do. It's just completely different. So they might have thought they were doing a great job or getting back to them in a timely manner, or they were giving them an accurate bid or whatever it was. But just get back to them and be like, hey, like, this is what happened. Like, I still want to work with you. How can we make sure that the next person that I send over to you, like, we can knock it out of the park for them? So just readdress the situation. Because a lot of the times, and that same person might want to reciprocate or send you people, but he's like, man, I'm scared to call, right? Like, man, I really messed that last one up. And they might have opportunities for you, but you just got to open that door back open. For the dialogue. Yeah.
Matchmaker, put them together.
Yeah.
Fit.
Going back to the VIP list, first the bottom, the builders,
Mhm.
and he says, 3 minimum.
Oh, yeah, I stopped, sorry. right now,
That's
got off on a
okay.
tangent.
So I've never worked with a builder before. And so when I think of builders, I think of their showroom more so than the builders
Yeah.
themselves. So how do you find what builders are out there and who to contact? I mean,
Yeah.
just a salesperson.
Yeah, totally. So the builder piece here for us is a little more challenging because especially there's so many site reps and stuff like that. To try to get a relationship where you're gonna list a lot of builders' houses is really slim pickings. So we have a couple people that, it's not a huge part of what we do, but from a relationship building aspect. And especially in a really low inventory market right now.
Yeah.
You know, building relationships with site agents that live around where you are in neighborhoods that you're showing clients, you know, you got an off-market deal right now. Because you can just literally go to that new construction site and there's something that's not listed on the MLS that they'll sell. So that's another talking point. You know, I drum up off-market opportunities all the time. This is how I do it, right? I meet all these different agents. I go find this, whatever it is. But also, even if there's the site agents that can't sell out, they can give referrals. But if you can get in with people, then there's people within the company. It's like our biggest builder account, we've done more deals with their team than we have for their houses.
I think with that new law change that just happened, if I were you guys, I would be finding people who can build ADUs. The DADUs,
Yeah.
all of that type of stuff right now, and get some of them in your VIP list.
Yeah, they're gonna be good.
They're
You're gonna
gonna
wanna
be
know, because
hot.
people are gonna be asking all sorts of
Yep.
questions about that stuff. But wherever you meet, just make sure like, what's the expectation that I should be giving to my client? It's okay if you're like, we respond usually within 48 hours, or what's your process? Does you have I wanna make sure that I can tee you up, because if it's us, or if it's me, I'm all about speed to lead, right? So I'm trying to get in front of them as fast as I can, me or my team, but I understand most people don't operate that way. So I want to make sure I set the proper expectation. Yeah.
When you're calling attorneys that you don't know,
Mhm.
do you always try to meet with them one-on-one? Cause I feel like that's gonna be more challenging, or do you ever call and just offer them free BPO?
Yeah, I think whatever you gotta do to just stay in front of them. So you might not be able to get in front of them. Yeah, you can do BPOs or day of death evaluations or whatever you need to do, whatever you want to offer, right? I think the biggest thing is just the consistently reaching out. That's the important part. So if it's, hey, do you have anybody that's coming up that I can help take some workload off your plate, right? Things like that. But I'm okay with not even meeting them in person. Everybody's got different ways that they operate these days. So meet them where they're at, right? I'm always gonna offer to meet them in person because I think personally, that's the best way. And that's my style. That's not everybody's style.
Question,
Yeah.
on the example we gave, there's other tabs down here and there's stuff in it. I did not know if you knew that.
Oh, no. So yeah, there's probably a whole bunch of people in there. So let's not send that to everybody. Oh, it
I
doesn't matter.
shared that one in our
Don't call
chat.
my people.
Yeah, don't call John's people or he will know.
Let's be crystal clear, Eric. What's the percentage of people you think are even gonna open that email?
I know, 20%.
20%?
20%.
25%.
Okay, 25.
Okay. So,
Awesome.
yeah, okay, I think that's
We're
about it. Anybody
good.
got any final questions?
John,
No?
I do.
Okay, yes.
Okay, this is I want to know if you have to reflect back into the last years that you've been in real estate, what has been the one thing that you have, what's the one habit? And I want specifically to know, how do you start your mornings? What do you read? What do you get into in terms of business when you get into the office, right?
That's a great question. So, I would love to say that my morning routine is so tight. I'm like, what? It's so good, dialed in. I wake up at 5:45, take my shirt off, look in the mirror, I'm doing reps, eating my protein shake. No, none of that. So here's the thing. There's only two things. Number one is you gotta have a team meeting every single day, whether it's with yourself or with your team, and you can never, ever be late. And you better show up with a smile on your face. It's the attitude that you show up with and your consistency. That's the only thing. Everything else is completely uncontrollable. It's just not gonna happen. You're gonna go through waves, but I don't care if you're waking up 20 minutes before you gotta get to the office, we're gonna figure out how to be there on time and you're gonna be smiling when you come in. So if you gotta shake it out or whatever you gotta do to figure it out, but our team will run at our pace. So if you're not fired up when you show up, or if you're personally just not even fired up when you show up, it makes everything very, very challenging. So sometimes I work out in the mornings, like I say I'm gonna do it 5 days a week, but I'll probably do like 3 days, I like to spend time with my family in the morning before I come in, but I don't. And I think it depends on where you're at. Like, I don't journal, I don't read a lot. I hate reading. I hate it. It's terrible. Okay, I just don't, right? There's so many books. I got like 18,000 credits on Audible. I can't even listen to it anymore. So, because for me, the learning is like just messing up. Like, just put me in the game. Like, make me miss a pass. Maybe make a dumb phone call. Maybe stick my foot in my mouth. Let me say something stupid to my team and I have to apologize because I'm just an idiot. Like that's how I get better. Like, I gotta live it. Like, I'm a school of hard knocks guy. Like, that's for me. I just gotta break it down to build it up. I don't want the hypotheticals. Like, these are all really good things, but I've got so much of that I've worked on for the years. I think we all get into this phase of paralysis analysis where I just got to read this book to figure out how to do this better. Just go try to do it and just mess it up. The next time it'll be better. That's how we learn and that's how we grow. So there's nothing perfect about it. I work too much. I do. I think I'm a halfway decent leader. I hope I'm a pretty good husband and father. Like, I'm working on it. We're all working on it. I do dumb stuff like all of us. So, but I can guarantee you one thing. I'm never, ever late to one of my team meetings ever in 10 years, ever. And I show up with a smile on my face every time. That's all I gotta do.
Well,
Sorry.
That was a mic drop right there.
Yeah.
One more thing. Yeah.
So, well, because you're mentioning, you either meeting with yourself or you meeting with your team,
Uh-huh.
do you have like a set, thing that you look at to say, okay, this is what I need to go over with myself daily or with my team daily?
We do for our team meetings. And then for me, it's just updating my greatness tracker.
Okay.
So it's very basic. Printing off my daily printed calendar, stuff like that.
Awesome. Can we give John a big round of applause? This Thursday, we do have a clock hour class. It's 3 hours. It is from Legacy U and it's strategic partnerships. So it kind of continues on what like John has talked about today's class. So try to make that is 11 to 2 p.m. with lunch included. So thank you guys again. Thank you so much, John.
Yeah, my
Really
pleasure.
appreciate you.
We'll do
Thank you, Zoom people. Thank you, everyone.
off camera. Bye.